He threw away pennies his whole life. Then he needed them, and they weren't there. In a coastal town where fishermen worked from dawn until dusk, two brothers earned their living the same way. They'd sell their daily catch and get paid in coins. Some days, they'd earn 20 coins. Some days, 15. Some days, 10. Both brothers worked hard. Both earned similar amounts. But 20 years later, one brother owned 3 boats and lived comfortably. The other brother was broke, in debt, and working just to survive. The difference? What they did with the small coins nobody thinks matters. The first brother's name was Omar. Every evening after selling his fish, Omar would count his earnings. If he made 20 coins, he'd feel good. If he made 10, he'd feel frustrated. But either way, Omar always noticed the small coins mixed in. Copper pennies, tiny pieces worth almost nothing individually. Omar would look at them and think, what's the point of keeping these? A penny can't buy anything. It's basically worthless. So Omar would drop them, sometimes in the street. Sometimes he'd give them to kids as a joke. Sometimes he'd toss them aside when counting his money. He treated pennies like they didn't exist. When friends asked why he threw away money, Omar would laugh and say, "It's just pennies. They don't matter. I'd rather focus on earning more silver coins than waste time with copper." This attitude spread to other small amounts too. If Omar had 3 coins left at the end of the week, he'd spend them on something unnecessary rather than save them. 3 coins won't change my life, he'd say. Might as well enjoy it. Years passed. Omar kept this mindset. Small amounts didn't matter. Only big money counted. He was always waiting for that one big catch, that one lucky day that would change everything. But the big day never came. And all those small coins he threw away, they added up to more than he realized. After 20 years, Omar was still struggling. He needed to buy a second boat to grow his business. But he had no savings. He needed money for an emergency. But his pockets were empty. He had earned hundreds of thousands of coins over 2 decades, but he had nothing to show for it. Omar looked back at his life and couldn't understand why. He worked just as hard as everyone else. He earned decent money. Where did it all go? The answer was simple. It disappeared 1 penny at a time. 1 small coin at a time. 1 it doesn't matter at a time. The second brother's name was Yossa. When Yossa got paid each day, he also counted his coins. He also saw the pennies mixed in. But Yossa thought about them differently. Yossa picked up every single penny, every tiny copper coin, every piece that Omar would have thrown away. Yossa took them home and put them in a jar. His friends laughed at him. "Yossa, why are you keeping pennies? They're worthless." Yossa would smile and say, "1 penny is worthless. But 1,000 pennies? That's 10 silver coins. That matters." Every night, no matter how tired he was, Yossa would save his pennies. When he had 3 coins left after expenses, he'd save at least 1. When he had 5, he'd save 2. The amounts were small, tiny, but Yossa saved them anyway. After 1 month, Yossa's jar had 30 pennies. Still not much. Most people would look at that and say it was pointless. But Yossa kept going. After 1 year, Yasser had saved over 500 pennies plus additional small coins. That turned into 50 silver coins. 50 coins that Omar would have thrown away or wasted. Yasser took those 50 coins and bought better fishing nets. Now he could catch more fish per trip. His income increased slightly, but he didn't increase his spending. He kept saving those small amounts. After 5 years, Yasser had saved enough to buy a second boat. He hired someone to work it. Now he had 2 sources of income, and he still saved every penny. After 10 years, Yasser owned 3 boats. After 20 years, he was one of the wealthiest fishermen in the town. All because he never threw away the small stuff. One day, broke and desperate, Omar came to Yasser asking for help. He saw Yasser's success and didn't understand it. We started the same. We worked the same. We earned similar money. How are you so far ahead? Yasser took Omar to his home and showed him something. 20 jars filled with coins, some big, some small, all saved over years. Yasser said, "Every penny you threw away, I kept it. Every small coin you said didn't matter, I saved it. You were waiting for big money to change your life. I understood that small money, saved consistently, becomes big money." Omar looked at the jars and did the math in his head. If he had saved just 1 penny every day for 20 years, that would be over 7,000 pennies. 70 silver coins, enough to buy a boat. But he didn't save 1 penny a day. He threw away dozens. He wasted hundreds. He dismissed thousands. All because each one individually seemed too small to matter. Here's what most people don't understand about saving. Wealth isn't built with big chunks. It's built with tiny pieces that nobody thinks counts. That coffee you buy without thinking. That subscription you forgot about. That extra dollar you spend because it's just a dollar. Those pennies you don't bother to pick up. They all add up. Omar represents how most people think. They dismiss small amounts. It's only $5. It's just a few coins. This won't make a difference. And because they think that way, they never save anything. They're always waiting for big money to fix their problems. A bonus, a raise, a lucky break. But even when big money comes, it disappears just as fast because they never learned to value small amounts. He also represents people who build real wealth. They understand that every penny counts, not because 1 penny is powerful, but because 1 penny every day for 20 years is powerful. Small amounts, saved consistently, become massive amounts over time. That's not motivation. That's just math. If you save just $2 a day, that's $60 a month. $720 a year. Over 10 years, that's $7,000. That's life-changing money built from amounts most people throw away. Think about your own life. How many times have you said it is just a few dollars and spent money on something you didn't need? How many times have you dismissed small amounts as not worth saving? Those small amounts could have bought you freedom, could have given you options, could have built your future. But you threw them away because they didn't seem to matter. The piggy bank cried because every penny you didn't put in was a penny you wish you had later. Omar learned this lesson too late. He spent 20 years dismissing pennies and then spent the rest of his life wishing he had them back. Yasser saved every penny and built a fortune. Omar threw away every penny and stayed broke. Sane earnings, different mindset. Stop dismissing small amounts. Start saving every penny. The piggy bank only cries when it's empty. Subscribe for more wealth parables.